It's the final of the World Pool Masters 2023 and we have two greats of the game, Aklan Kachi versus Ko Pinyi. Out of 16 players we are left with the final two and Kachi wins the leg, so he's about to break for the very first game. And believe me, the quality of this match is going to be insane, and this is already shown in the very first shot of the very first rack. Kachi is facing a difficult 2-ball and he has to get position on that 3-ball, but the 3-ball doesn't pass, so he has to play the whole shot with high and right spin to open that cluster. And he does it in the perfect manner and has a great shot on the next ball. So he continues to break and run the very first rack. So he's definitely set the tone for the match already, and he continues to do that because this is the opening shot on the second rack, which he plays in a perfect manner once again. Gets a great position on it 3-ball. So he sets him up for another break and run in this match. However, when he's facing this 5-ball into the side pocket, he just misses it by a fraction. And this eventually leads to Ko Pinyi facing a 6-9 combination for his very first game on the board. And believe it or not, this is the very next rack. Ko makes the 3-ball into the side pocket, and look at that 4-9 combo. It's set up pretty nicely, so he's making quick work of the next rack once again, and all of a sudden it's 2-1 in favor of Ko Pinyi. But this is the rack we're going to analyze all the way from start to finish because it's very unusual and it doesn't happen that often in 9-ball that you're playing such an interesting rack. So let's have a look. First of all, as you can see on the break shot, he made the 1-ball into the side pocket, which is very often the ball that pro players are making on the break. Because obviously in matchroom events we are playing with a break box. So this means players have to break from around the center of the table. And because of that, they're not going for a full hit on the 1, but the cut break instead, which higher their chances of making the 1-ball into the side pocket. And because of that, it's not guaranteed that they're having a shot on the next ball, which is the blue 2-ball here. Both players will face the problem with the cluster of the 7, 4 and 8-ball in this rack. So even though if someone is making that 2-ball, either Ko Pinyi or Aklan Kachi, they will have a very difficult time to run the table from there. This is why Ko is playing the very first safety shot, which is kind of a two-way shot. He was going for the bank shot and at the same time he was trying to get the cue ball safe behind that 3-ball. And this turned out pretty nice. It was a bit risky though. The 2-ball would have been makeable if the cue ball leaked out, but as I mentioned, it still would have been very difficult to run the last remaining balls. This is perhaps why he went for this more risky shot. So Kachi is forced to play a kick shot here. The good news is the 2-ball has the perfect distance to the rail, so that he has a very big target, and he doesn't only make contact with the 2-ball, he actually makes it 2 rails. So another great shot in this match already, but he's faced with the next challenge already. He has to make that 3-ball and at the same time open the cluster of balls that are still tied up and preventing him from clearing the table. So he doesn't make that 3-ball, and this is why he's now hoping to not open the cluster, because as you can see he left an open shot on the 3-ball, so the cluster is basically his insurance right now. So Ko Pinyi obviously sees no reward in going for the pot because it's way too difficult, and even if he makes it, it's not guaranteed to open the cluster. That's why he's playing a safety shot instead, and he's playing a really clever one because the 3-ball is now close to that problem. So when Kachi is trying to make contact with the 3, he might opens that cluster for Ko. But Kachi doesn't fall for this trap. Instead of playing a massage shot or kick shot, he is going for a jump shot. And this was a great shot and 100% intentional. So what he was trying to do is to send both balls, the cue ball and that 3-ball, to opposing rails. So he was aiming straight. He even put a bit of follow on the cue ball, which made the cue ball come towards the short rail, and the 3-ball goes 1, 2, 3 and eventually 4 rails and ends up in the perfect spot on the short rail. So Ko is forced to play another kick shot, and what he's trying to do is to graze that 3-ball on the left side and again split the balls to opposing rails. But he hit it too full and he got away with it. So once again, no open shot for Kachi. But what he's about to do right now is basically the same thing that Ko was trying to do. Graze that 3-ball on the left side and split the balls to opposing rails, where he even has that 6-ball as a really nice blocker. So once again, a good safety, but not a rack winning one, because Ko is able to easily jump above the 6-ball here. And in the best case, he's once again, have a look at this, splitting the balls to opposing rails. So a very tactical game so far, and you can take so many things from this rack already. Planning ahead, not going for shots if there is no reward. Choose the right shot to not open clusters, playing kick shots with the right speed, splitting the balls to opposing rails on safety shots, jumping not to make the ball but to get it safe, and much more. So overall a very good and very controlled jump shot. And as I mentioned, you're not always trying to make the balls when you're jumping. You sometimes try to hit the right spot of the object ball so that you have the best chance to not leave an open shot. So let's have a look what Kachi is doing once again. Once again, he's trying to graze it on the left side, opposing rails. He's trying to bring the 6 ball in between as a reward, but now he's leaving an open shot for the very first time for Ko. And yes, I'm saying it's an open shot because the bank shot is on here, but the big question is, will he take that bank shot on? Is there any reward, or is he trying to play another safety once again? What do you think, and what would you have done in this situation? Let me know in the comments. So obviously he didn't play the bank shot, and this makes sense because he didn't have the angle to open the cluster. It was way too risky to play this kind of shot. He could have left an open shot for Kachi with an option to make that free ball to open the cluster. So you always have to play the percentages, and the percentages were just favoring definitely the safety shot here. So the first kick shot we're actually seeing here, and it's going to be 2 rails. Now it depends if he has a full hit or a thin hit. He has a completely full hit, which wasn't ideal in this case because now, for the very first time, we have a shot into an open pocket where no bank shot is required, where no jump shot is required, and no kick shot is required. But it's still not that easy. It's very tricky to open that cluster. But he definitely has to open it because otherwise he can't continue his run. One option is to get in a nice position where you can actually play another safety from that 4 ball, where you're opening the cluster and playing a safety at the same time. Look at this shot. Very clever. He played it with a speed, and he chose a path where if he misses that cluster, he's definitely going to have a look on that 4 ball. And now he didn't open it, but he has a plan B to play a safety shot on that 4 ball, open the cluster, and get the 4 ball safe. But he misjudged the shot slightly, and you can see he's disgusted with himself. Of course, he knows now that Kachi is the favor in this rack because he left him an open shot on that 4 ball where Kachi can once again play a very controlled safety shot and just locking up. And this is very interesting because he has so many different options. Will he split to opposing rails? Will he try to do something more risky and just lock the cue ball up behind a certain ball? Let's have a look what he decides to do. And once again, if you're watching matches between pro players, always think yourself what you were doing. And here, once again, he was using that principle to send the balls to opposing rails, and he used that 9 ball as a blocker. But the problem in this specific scenario was that he was always leaving another jump shot for Ko Pin-yi. And if you're not locking the cue ball up, then there are always good things that can happen for Ko Pin-yi right now if he's making a good contact with the 4 ball. So sometimes you have to evaluate, are you trying something more risky, trying to really freeze the cue ball to another ball, or are you playing it safe and just leave, as you can see here, a jump shot, which, as you can see, Ko Pin-yi got rewarded because he had a jump shot, and there are always good things that can happen for your opponent. And there are good news, bad news. He not only did get that 4 ball save, which of course was luck in this particular shot, but it was an option. But have a look at that purple 5 ball. This one is also safe. So this is, in this case, pretty good for Eklund Kachi because he's just left with a kick shot, and if he messes the kick shot up, then the rack is not over yet because that 5 ball is in a really tough spot. And this is exactly what happened. You can see he left that 4 ball in front of the pocket, but with that 5 ball close to the 9 ball, it's not over yet. So this was a good and a bad roll for Ko Pin-yi on his previous shot where he played that 4 ball safe, but he created another problem with that 5 ball. So what is he going to do? Is he trying to opening it? No, you can see he pointed on the table where he wants the cue ball to end. So the big question is there maybe even a kiss shot on that 9 ball where the 9 ball goes into the lower right corner pocket? We will find out very soon. So the cue ball travels pretty much to where he pointed. And now we will have to figure out what he's going to do. And if you watch this video carefully, and if you applied the concept from this video that you've already learned, you should know what he's going to do in this case. So maybe pause the video, maybe set up this situation yourself and try to find a great solution to solve this problem. You can see he made up his mind. Let's watch the 4-ball and let's watch the 9-ball and of course also the cue-ball. He's playing a stop shot, the 9-ball travels towards the corner pocket, but watch that purple 5-ball. He played it intentionally once again to opposing rails. And yes, he was certain that there will not be a real safety, just a containing safety where the 5-ball is open, but there is no clear shot into any pocket. So once again, he played the percentages and he even had a tiny chance to make that 9-ball. So guess what Kachi is doing for the 4th time I think in this rack already. He's splitting the balls, same concept, and we have that 6-ball as a blocker. But yes, we still have another jump shot left. We maybe have even a 1-rail kick shot. I'm not too sure if we can actually get behind and maybe play a kick and stick. It would perhaps be possible from this perspective. Maybe leave the cue ball there, bring the 4-ball to the short rail. But you can see Ko is grabbing his jump cue, and I'm not too sure what he's trying to do here. Maybe 2 rails once again towards the short rail, maybe the 1-rail bank shot. We will see in a moment what's going to happen. And of course, it's always a bit of luck involved. If you're playing a jump shot, you of course can't be as accurate as if you're playing directly with your normal cue on an open shot. So let's look what happens. Was he actually going for the bank shot? Was he trying to bring the 4-ball 2-rail safe towards the short rail? Well, we never know, but what we know for sure is that the 6-ball is once again a really nice blocker. But this time we have a jump shot with an option to make the ball directly into the pocket. And on top, if you make that jump shot, you will have a guaranteed position on that 6-ball. So let's see if he can pull this one off. But of course, a jump shot, even on this pro level, is never guaranteed if the object ball is that far away from the pocket. So the first open shot for like I think 10 minutes already, so Ko has a really good chance to go in front 3-2-1. But what happens very often, even on a pro level, after a safety exchange that went on for that long, you're facing an open shot and you're missing it because it wasn't the easiest shot in the world, and all of a sudden he gave away his chance. Everything that happened in the past of this rack is basically useless because he missed that open shot and left Kachi an open shot on that 4-ball. But this is still not an easy shot because, as you can see, he has a thin cut. The good news, however, is if he's cutting it into the corner pocket, he will be guaranteed with a shot on that 6-ball. And he didn't risk anything, played it with a trace of outside spin, avoided the side pocket completely, and now has a great chance. And this, even though we're just at the beginning of this match, is a huge rack mentally, because imagine you were fighting for so long. From Ko's perspective, you finally get that open shot, you're missing it, and you're giving the whole rack away, and everything that you did previously is basically useless, as I mentioned. And here, well, not the easiest shot in the world, and the beginner would maybe argue why didn't he play it with inside spin to give himself an easier shot on the 6-ball. The reason is, on this tight pockets, and in general, if you're playing this kind of shot with inside spin, it becomes very missable. So he split the difficulties. He played that 6-ball with no inside spin, left himself a more difficult shot on that 7-ball, and basically split the difficulties. And it's the same that he did here. He could have tried to get a whole lot closer to that 8-ball, but this would have been a bit risky with the side pocket, with missing the shot. This is why he played it that way. And believe it or not, look at the angle he's having. He's not amused with this type of angle. So maybe we can see it right here. He's almost perfectly straight. So he's going to pull off a huge shot, drawing the cue ball all the way to the short rail, but unfortunately he added the wrong spin to the cue ball. He added some unintentional right spin, which didn't bring the cue ball into a very good place. But the good news is he's a right-handed player. The ball should still be cuttable, but it's awfully thin. Let's see if he can pull it off and finally reward himself for all the work he did previously in this whole rack. So huge ball coming up the biggest one of this rack, and he's making the 9-ball, he's making it even. So if you enjoyed this match so far, then you should definitely head over to Matchroom Pool, subscribe to the channel, because they will upload the full match very soon. And now the most important thing, if you want to watch the World Pool Masters 2024 live, then you should definitely get to the link in the video description or in the pinned comment and get your tickets to the World Pool Masters 2024 in Germany, Hildesheim. And as you know, I'm living in Germany, this means I'm also going to be there. So if you like to meet me or simply watch the 16 best players in the world right now compete against each other for the title, get a ticket right now. I'm sure it's going to be awesome, and I'm really interested in who is going to get the title this year. So thank you to Matchroom for doing all of this. Thank you for providing me with this final, and we will see soon in Hildesheim or on my YouTube channel. Take care.